What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Seez Monroe Show. I am your host, and today we're here to talk about the Smashing Machine.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
So I'm not going to lie. Going into this film, I thought I was going to go into something that I've never seen before. The reason being, I've seen a lot of advertisement for this film, especially on social media, so I was expecting like this grandiose performance from The Rock himself. And they say that this is The Rock's first serious role. I don't feel that way. I feel like Walking Tall, which is one of The Rock's first films. I think it came out around 04, 05, somewhere around there. I felt like that was a serious role. So it just, he was The Rock in that serious role. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't much different. It's about wrestling. Well, technically it's about UFC fighting, but the UFC fighter that he was more of a wrestler. So you're really just going pretty much off of a wrestler's story at the end of the day. Like, it's not that much complexity to this storyline. And when I went into the film, I was seeing like the camera tricks that they were doing to make us feel this is 1999. This is the beginning of the UFC with the MMA fighting, so on and so forth. And then I started to realize 1999 wasn't that damn long ago. So I didn't understand why they went with that format for filming. But that's just me being nitpicky. Let's get into the movie itself. Overall, I felt like the film was probably not a good film. Like, I'm trying not to be an ass here, but there's no reason why this film was made. We have a wrestler or MMA fighter. For a second, he was strung out on drugs and he lost a match, and that made him lose his mind a little bit. I don't see the compelling story here. Unfortunately, this is everyday stuff. So for them to make a movie out of it, honestly, it just gave me hope. Because I feel like now we can make a movie out of my life story at this point. This movie was really not needed. It was probably a waste of 2 hours. Like, that's all I have for you guys. I'm not saying it was a bad film. I'm just saying that if this was on Lifetime, it probably would have been one of the most watched films that week. Other than that, I don't see that being like a big draw. The reason why I'm using Lifetime is because that's what it reminded me of. It didn't even remind me of nothing new like a Netflix series or a Netflix film. It definitely gave me those Lifetime vibes with a smidget more of a budget because you have The Rock and Emily Blunt in there. But other than that, no. Like, this film just did not need to be made. Overall, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 10. It was something that was watchable. It just wasn't nothing special at all about this film. And as I'm going through the film, I'm waiting for that big thing that happens that's supposed to keep me engaged in the film. And also that turning point where you say, man, I see what he went through. And it just never was there, unfortunately. And then you fast forward, like it takes place from like 99 to 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. It was like a 3-year span. And then they fast forward to present day and they do a little monologue stating that he has a kid with the shorty from the film. And obviously they're not together anymore and all this other stuff. It wasn't worth the watch. Save your time. You're probably already seen it because this is coming out after the weekend. So for Movie Talk Monday. So either way, but unfortunately, yes, this is a hard pass. The Smashing Machine, I wasn't going to expect much from it, but all that advertisement really made me amped to see this film, so I'm kind of upset about that. Wasted my time. Now, I'm going to end it on that. We're going to go into the next topic because I really have some bad things to say, but I love The Rock, so I'm trying not to bash this film so much. Let's get into the next topic. Going into the next topic, I want to talk more about One Battle After Another. I had a short for it, but I wanted to give more details into this film. First off, this film is phenomenal. From start to finish, it's like going in the mind of a revolutionary. I wouldn't even say the mind. I would say just the life of a revolutionary, just how they have to live on a day-to-day basis, just living life on the edge. And again, coming from a black background, we kind of understand that life a lot more than a lot of other people will understand that lifestyle. So, and of course, everything that's going on with ICE right now, I feel like that's where this movie was getting its energy from. And it's crazy that it came out around this time because there's a lot going on. So I don't know if it was aimed at this, but this movie had to be made like 2 years ago. So they had to been working on this film for a little while before all this stuff happened. So I take that back because this stuff has been going on for the longest. It's just now that Trump is in office, we shine more of a spotlight on it. So you have that. Also, I want to give like detail into how things are handled by the government on the front. You know what I'm saying? Like not as a front, but on the front part of, hey, we're going in, we're doing this, but then people that work for the government also have other agendas. So that's normally where things get a little out of control at. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. We kind of understand that concept of everything. So that's a part of this argument we're having here. This film was not only brilliant to come out, and like I said before in the short, I wasn't expecting much from this film. I really thought I was going to dread watching this film, but then that became me dreading watching The Smashing Machine because what the hell was that? Either way, One Battle After Another was definitely one of those films that you have to go see. It's going to be up there for like the top 10 films of the year easily, maybe even top 5 because we're almost at the end of the year. We got a couple months left and it's pretty much over with. Although Wicked for Good, I know is going to be up there. It just has to be. If it's bad, that will be the worst thing that happens to me in 2025. If Wicked for Good is not great, it's going to hurt me. I'm not going to lie. But you have that. So I see we have Sinners, we have Weapons. For me, 40 Acres was a great one, so that's going to go up there in my top 5. And then we have One Battle After Another, so it's going to be there. So I might have to do like a top 10 because I know Wicked for Good. We have Avatar, but I'm pretty sure that movie is not going to be good. Neither of the Avatar movies are good to me. Honestly, I just go to see the visual effects of these films. Other than that, the stories are pretty much blah. Yeah, it's a real bad story. It's just something good to look at. That's why these films don't really have rewatchability outside of the movie theaters because the movie theaters have that technology to showcase these things. Try to watch it at home. It's not really that great. Trust me, I've tried multiple times. That's neither here nor there. One Battle After Another, man. I feel like anyone that understands what's going on now just needs to go see that movie. Actually, anyone that just wants to be entertained, go check out One Battle After Another. It is a solid movie. Leonardo DiCaprio shows his ass on there. It's like he's just incredible. Every time he does something, he just does it to the best of his ability. And honestly, it's like you shouldn't be surprised, but every time he shows up on screen, he just gives you something else. He's just phenomenal. Benicio del Toro, of course, he's a solid actor. One of my favorite films, Sicario. Just his demeanor, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. He also plays the Collector in the Marvel movies, if you guys didn't know. Well, he's gone now because of Thanos, but that's neither here nor there. Chase Infinity, or is it Infinity Chase? One or the other. Like I said on my short, she's a new actress. She's from Indiana. She went to Columbia in Chicago. So it's like, again, I'm from Chicago. So just being in this area and knowing that someone that dope came from this area is amazing, man. She's a great actress. She did a phenomenal job as well. Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor did a phenomenal job in that film. Sean Penn, again, I did not realize that was Sean Penn. Let me let you guys know this one more time. When I went into this film, I was dreading it. I didn't look at too much on this film. I literally seen the trailer and I kind of went in to watch the film. I didn't look up any information on the backstories, the production, any of that. So I didn't even know the people that were in this film. But Sean Penn just did a phenomenal job. Didn't even know that was him in the film until the credits rolled. That's how great of a job this guy's done, and you guys just have to go watch it. It kind of goes into like he's trying to get into this secret society. You guys should have seen the film by now. By the way, it's like week number 2 or 3. He's trying to get into the secret society, and pretty much because he had sex with a black woman, he is not allowed into that society, which is crazy, because if you just listen to the excuse he gave at the end of the movie, I'm gonna just say it now. It was like he tried to say that he did have sex with a black woman, but it was because she blanked him, right? Or reverse blanked him. So when that happens, the reason why it was so funny listening to it is because these are the things, like in history books, this stuff is written. These are the reasonings and the resources and the way that these lies are being told. And if you're talking to a boomer, if you're talking to hell, you can actually cancel out some millennials off of that type of talk, because they just believe what you tell them. And that's what I love about the later on millennials, the Gen Zers, the Gen Alphas. Like, they have information at their fingertips and they utilize that like every point. So with that, just listening to that excuse, someone would have taken that, written it down as this is facts, not fiction. We believe him 1000%. But in that secret society, of course, they're not dumb. So they pretty much tricked them. Well, it's a lot that goes on. They pretty much, they take them out, but they take them out in a smooth way. All right, so I'm gonna just say that. Phenomenal film, man. And going back to like the history of things like that, revolutions have been going on for like the longest of times. Don't be a part of a revolution just because it's popular. One, is not easy. Me coming from a background of it, my family coming from a background of it, my family being affected by COINTELPRO. These are things like, when I hear friends talk about this stuff now, it's kind of like, okay, guys, you've known about this for 10 seconds. Like, I'm 35 now. I've known about it since I was 5-6 years old, because type of stuff was ingrained in me. One of the things that my father used to tell me, and rest in peace to him, one of the things that he ingrained in me was, you're going to give the school what they want, and I'm going to give you what you need. So pretty much what he was telling me is, yes, I know Christopher Columbus didn't find America, but that's what they want. So you're going to give them the information that they want, and I'm going to give you the information that you need. And that's kind of pretty much the same thing that I do with my children. I understand, yes, this is not the truth. Yes, this doesn't even make sense, because this is not what that is. But this is the answer that they want. So you're going to give them the answer that they want, and you're going to take this information that I'm giving you, and you utilize that information however you see fit. So that's one of the things I loved about this film. Is just, it's very invigorating. It's very real. Like, it's everything you need to know. And that's why I feel like this movie is not getting the push that it deserves, is because this is real life. This movie is real life. Like, it's the closest thing to it. And people understand. I'm going to put it to you in another term. Like, when you go and you watch Star Wars and you have Darth Vader, or I don't even remember what his people are called, like his team, or the Republic. You have the Republic. And then you have the rebels. In these movies, you root for the rebels. In real life, you guys root for the Republic, and you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only root for the rebels on screen. But in real life, when it comes down to it, the Republic is where we stand. So that's pretty much the understanding in this film. And you just have to go out there. You got to go check it out. Watch it. It's a phenomenal film. Smashing Machine, not so much. And one more thing before I get out of here. We got through the Smashing Machine. We got through one battle after another. And this is coming on the helms of the Diddy sentencing. And I want to speak something so clear, because people don't understand what just happened. Again, he was just sentenced to 50 months, which half of that is 25. He's already served 14, so he'll be home in about a year or so, right? The problem with this is because, yes, they're making an example out of him. The reason why you should be more focused on what's going on over there versus the chatter about Trump's next situation is because those judges are the people that you're going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And it's all fun and games until you're in those type of situations. I'm not saying the parties, just you in front of a judge for some odd reason. You get a speeding ticket and instead of your fine being $100, it's $10,000. That is the difference with this trial. I'm just putting it on layman's terms so people understand where I'm going with this. Hopefully you understand. So that's why this is dangerous. Yeah, it was funny to laugh at the freaky-ish that was going on with him, but on top of that, we have to start to realize the seriousness that's going on in this case and take it more serious than we have ever been. So there you guys have it, man. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. I'll talk to you guys next week. I don't mean to get all surreal and serious on these situations, but I just want you guys to know life ain't a game sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I like to come in here and talk about movies, but I also like to give you guys some gems while I'm here. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.